I think I told you, Chris, that because everybody was watching during the holidays. Everybody was watching Best Man.
Yeah.
So I told you. I think one of the bishops said that's it again. That's like McCray. That's like McCray. Yeah.
That's McCray. That's McCray.
That's it. You not there.
Oh, that's funny.
You know.
But you know what?
That
You were
wasn't
talking good today.
the topic of the show.
Yeah.
The show was Best Man.
Right.
Now, the writers and producers was clever enough to take us somewhere that we wasn't expecting to go.
Right. Right.
And so that's why I'm saying some of that stuff, hey, let's not even put these qualifiers. Why
You did.
gotta be why you gotta put me in this box? There you go. Can you hear me?
I can, and you were talking some good stuff tonight, brother. You was on it. It was nothing but the truth. People need to hear it, and the guy's right. There needs to be a round table on that,
Yeah, because I asked Daddy.
Do you really love me? Yeah.
Because I am not, and then I had to, see, this is the thing that I made the decision. I made the decision that I was not going to conform.
Right.
Expectation.
Yeah.
And so basically, you love me, but you love me with conditions.
With conditions. But you know where we get that from?
Church.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that sleaze bag that they buried today.
Lady-elect Nicholson said she sent you something. Check your stuff.
Thank you so much, Lady-elect. I really appreciate you.
What sleaze bag? Which one?
Pope Benedict.
Oh.
Well, see, the thing about it is the Catholic Church taught us how to hide and cover. See, the thing that we don't know, for the first time in the history of the Catholic Church, we had a pope that had to step down.
Yeah.
He had to step down because they were those charges were coming.
Accusations.
And they were getting ready to storm. They said we're going to either storm the Vatican, which is not which is holy ground, not supposed to be able to do that, because that's St. Paul's body is that city is built on top of his
holy
grave.
ground. Yeah.
And so his body is there. That funeral was on top of Paul's grave. And so then they said, what we'll do is the next time he makes an appearance, they were going to arrest him. Now, the part when they went away in that helicopter, and the news commentator said this was likely the last time that we'll ever see him.
Wow.
He was going away to prison. He was exiled, and he was actually in jail. And then the guy that had brought up all of that back when he was a cardinal and what he had done, that guy hunk a chunk of money and the whole story. It just went away. All of those cassets and all of those robes and all of that stuff that especially Pentecostal folks that we emulate and want to be, we got all of that from them.
But Ellis brought that in, didn't he?
Yeah, Ellis introduced it to us. Along with a whole lot of other evil that but we don't discuss it. We don't talk about. That's why I thought, okay, you remember The Wire?
Yes.
And what's his name's part was so phenomenal because they never said in the description or whatever, but what's his name? He was a killer, but he was gay.
He sure was. He sure
And he was,
was. Yeah.
and then you remember one of those things, Wire was so good. I still got my box set. But anyway, you remember he told that boy he had just had screwed him. He said, MF, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you dead. Yeah, that's what he told him.
I said, oh,
That's what he
I can't
told him.
think of what was his name. His name is escaping me right now.
Yeah.
Michael, oh gosh, and he had that scar.
Yeah.
It was Michael K or Michael D or something like that. But anyway,
The one who
so that's
overdosed.
just
Yeah.
that Omar. His name was Omar
yeah.
in the show.
In the
Omar
show,
was
yeah.
something. Omar, and we all know an Omar.
Oh yeah.
And then that's the part where when you put these qualifiers. Okay, so to make it where it's palatable to me or where I can tolerate it, I'm gonna say gay. Okay, so when heterosexual people have this mindset or this expectation of what gay is, then well, what the hell you do with an Omar?
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden he's totally out of Michael K. Williams.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Then he's totally out of.
Well, that takes you to your topic, Aaron Hernandez. I think that final straw with him was him being outed. I really think so.
And that inner conflict, that war.
Yeah.
That war within himself. And I mean, man, that whole, wow. I hadn't necessarily thought about it, but that his being outed and being exposed drove him to killing that guy.
Yeah, and his lover in prison, boy, he broke down like crazy.
Well, see, that was the thing with Ray Lewis. See, Ray Lewis came here in 96? What year was that Whitney sang the national anthem and and the Super Bowl? See, Ray was in the back of that. Ray killed that gay boy. I can't think of that boy's name. I knew that boy. Oh, his name is escaping me right now. And and a lot of them will get smart. A lot of them will run off at their mouth.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to tell you. And then you wind up over in the river somewhere.
Down the river, through the woods, you're gone. Yeah.
You did.
And you know the sad part about that? Not much will be done about something like that, though. Law enforcement.
Because it don't have the value.
No.
You're not in any kind of way important. It's just like, okay, it goes back to, slavery and the civil rights movement. We was just a commodity,
But we gonna need Aaron Hernandez baby mama to quit spending that little girl's money, right?
Well, I think she was thinking, she was mistaken in thinking she was, spending some of his or child support. And not really recognizing that, hey, this is the government involved with this. And she might wind up being in jail along with Aaron. I wonder how they're gonna deal with that. What do you think about it though?
I've always thought I think they need to set a third party to orchestrate money like that until the
Like a
child is of age.
trustee.
A trustee, a non-family member trustee. But you know what generally happens is they just petition the court and say they're having financial issues, and the court
And you have the
allows it.
financial issues, and then or that they are and see, it's so easy, after a while, because see, the thing about it is, once you need the money right then,
Right, right then.
and
Right,
so
right, right.
then if you got a court, you got to go to court, or and it just has the ability to get manipulated. But the thing, they're gonna have to get a hold of it, because as she gets older, and I'm trying to figure out how much money is it.
Yeah, I wish I knew. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, like, how much, what are they saying she can have?
They put the names of the Ray Lewis folks in there. Janice Baker, Richard Lollards, Hartford Hugh put it in.
Right. That was him.
Mm-hmm.
They were, because see, you ain't, well,
What? Mm.
Ray has never really, for as good of a player as he was,
Mm-hmm.
he has I think after that situation, he kind of took a back seat.
Yeah.
For a minute, he was running around with Jamal, and he was a member of Empowerment Temple, but
Oh yeah,
he
he
he was
was.
real low key.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was real low key, and that situation took a lot of wind out of his balloon.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
It took a lot, and it would have just been so great if they could just say, "Hey, this is me." I mean, because after about 10-15 minutes, there ain't nobody gonna care no way.
No, no. Yeah, it's just like who's the guy you talked about tonight? Noah. Who's that?
Oh, Noah, from shipment, that's from that Netflix show.
Yeah. But my thing is, I mean, who really care? Are people still coming out like that? I didn't know we cared. No offense.
I think the whole thing about it is
Noah
ridiculous. I
Schnapp.
think if you're gonna have a show, have a show, and have inclusive and diverse
Yeah,
environments. Have
yeah.
everybody have the black, the white, various
I
races.
think you would be very good as sportscaster. That would be interesting because you know sports.
But you don't have
Yeah,
anybody. You don't have, and then the sports guys are, because I'm in the
yeah,
sports element, they are watering down, and it's just like how black people used to pass.
yeah, yeah. Right,
You
right.
know, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm light skinned, I'm passing for white, or what have you. No.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have not seen a non-binary, a fun. You see these either excessively sexy chicks or
Mm-hmm.
dykes,
Yeah, yeah.
and they have a headpiece, and they're trying to
Being
call
told
games and ask questions, and
right.
it's a commentator and a producer that's in their ear. Ask this, so and so stats with such and such, such and such. You don't know the game.
Mm. Well, it's about a
And
look.
so,
It's about
and
performance.
why you don't have a guy with nails and hair and at the desk?
Mm.
I would annihilate Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, I would
Mm.
chew, I would devour him, and in any of them on Monday night, I could sit at that desk with any of them and
Mm.
hold it. But they're too scared. But at some point, at
They
some
will. They're gonna
point,
have to come around.
they're
Gonna
gonna
have to
have
come around.
you ain't gonna be able to keep on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able. No. Mm-mm.
Mm.
You ain't gonna be able to keep on doing it. You are gonna have to let some of that go.
Mm. But going back to, on that reality show, what's it called? The
We
Men
who
of
or
WeHo,
we so
WeHo, or something like that.
yeah.
That Todrick Hall's a mess. That might be interesting. We'll see.
Did you ever watch the one on BET? I never watched it.
Which one?
The the reality show with the black gay guys.
Oh, was that College Hill?
No, it's not, it was just this season, and they just had
Oh, I think I know what you're
they
talking.
just
No, I
had
didn't watch
Claudia
that one.
Was the commentator. They just had a reunion.
Yeah,
It came up in my
yeah.
watch.
I didn't watch it. I think I skimmed through it one
Yeah,
night and I never
but the
watched it.
guy in the thing, he really touched on that, how the show exacerbated
Yeah,
stereotypes.
yeah. Well, like you were saying, why do they got to get a bunch of gay guys? But a bunch of straight guys in a house is not it's not entertainment. They're going to give you a bunch of
But I
toxic.
think it. Now, see, we can't say that.
I don't think it would
This,
be.
see, you
I,
can't say that, because see, then the counterpart is what about the straight producers that's sitting at the table that's going to say nobody wants to see a bunch of gays, a bunch of you see what I'm saying? So we
yeah.
can't say it like that. Just like you had back in the day, a bunch of white folks saying, don't nobody want to see a bunch of Negroes. You see what I'm saying? So now what I would like to see more of reality, where you got a
Instead of
black
scripted.
friend, you got a white friend, you got a straight
Yeah,
friend, you
yeah.
got a gay friend. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And some more
reality.
diverse, because really, I don't know. How many people just now? I know black folks roll generally with other black people, but like, are we that closed off where all of our friends, or our closer friends, are people that are, you know, if you gay, they gay too.
Yeah,
You don't have any
yeah.
straight friends, So I just I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think that is indicative of reality.
No.
So I
It's
don't
not.
know. I'm gonna see how it goes. But I I I think it's limited.
Let's let,
Let's
let's
get
make
into this
another
about.
let's make another plea for an offering here. We want to get that studio taken care of. And let me say something. This bull-faced heifer got in one of my comments earlier today. She was saying, why are you bloggers? Why are you guys always asking for cash apps or asking for support? They don't do that on the news. They don't do. I said, well, heifer, well, they got sponsors. They
I mean,
got
they got
commercials.
commercials.
That's why they don't have to tell you the news, and then ask you to support monetarily. So, heifer,
Exactly.
that's why we asked for it. So we're gonna need you to reach into your purse and send something.
Now, Oh, please! I'm so glad because whoever that, everybody's asking. You go to Safeway, they
Yeah,
asking. You go to wherever you go,
yeah.
everybody's asking for money.
The waitress, the teppanyaki cook. Everybody's getting tipped. Everybody's getting money.
Okay, so this is it. The fight started in September when it was said that she couldn't afford the $10,697 bill for her daughter's dance lessons.
Who's this?
Now, this is Hernandez' ex
Oh,
fiance. So, the
okay.
former fiance of New England Patriots, Aaron Hernandez, asked the court appointed trustee
Mm-hmm.
to pay the bill from a trust fund that had been set up for their daughter.
Mm.
After Hernandez committed suicide while in prison for the murder in 2017. But the trustee, attorney David Schwartz, said no.
Mm.
By his calculations, Jenkins Hernandez already was receiving a separate source of funds outside of the trust of $150,000 a year
Mm.
or more from Hernandez NFL pension and Social Security that was supposed to pay for the 10-year-old's daily expenses
Right.
that he couldn't imagine why she needed more. Then Swartz reviewed how Jenkins Hernandez had been spending the money, 36,858 on
Mm.
clothing, including maternity wear,
Mm.
39,347 on home goods, 25,577 shopping online, one 11,792 self-care, including gym fees and visits to hair and nail salons.
Mm.
There's a reason to question whether the expenditures were of benefit, and the attorney, Robert O'Regan, who is representing Swartz in the court dispute, to be fair, this little girl should have a decent life. What her father left her, no one would complain if there was reasonable expenses were taken, or we're talking about otherwise revealed other lifestyle, or if basically he's saying if her father had lived, that no one would be no one would have to. Now, Schwartz and Jenkins Hernandez are locked in a battle over who controls the money that remained after the death of Hernandez, who hung himself in prison after being convicted for murdering Odin Lloyd, the boyfriend of Jenkins Hernandez's sister, just a few days
Mm.
before his death. Hernandez had been acquitted of separate double murder in the South End.
I,
Swartz declined to pay the dancing bill, and then Jenkins Hernandez promptly asked Bristol County probate judge to remove him as a trustee, arguing that he is potentially forcing the child to give up her favorite extracurricular activity. Uh, and Jenkins Hernandez gave birth to a second daughter by another man in 2018, and insists that she hasn't improperly spent the money, and the money from the trust fund should still be available when she needs it.
well, she was buying maternity clothes with the money, and it wasn't Hernandez's baby.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So
So they did have a
she's
trustee. Yeah.
living her best life.
She is. She is. Yeah. Bottom line.
Yeah, she's living, and I guess that's part of the difficulty. Did you see that little, I guess it was a TikTok or whatever, and the little boy is crying, and he's saying, "Why, Daddy?
Yeah, and
Why?"
he's talking
And
to
the
the
daddy
dad.
is
Yeah,
saying,
I saw that. I
"Oh,
saw that.
that was so heart wrenching." But it's a catch-22 because,
Why she recorded it?
but why did she record it? But then also, you know, I don't know. I mean, some of these guys are getting resentful that are having
Yeah,
to pay these high amounts of child support.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then they also, it's like they're in double jeopardy because they have to pay these high or what can be considered to be high amount. Because I'm like, if somebody got an $800 child support bill a month,
yeah.
what money do you have left over? You know, with your car, your
Hmm.
house, I mean, and then I can see how they feel conflicted. Not saying that I agree, but I
Right,
can
right,
see
right,
how they
right.
feel conflicted. Because see, if you pay the mama $800, say you just example, you pay 800, or even just say 500.
Hmm.
You paying $500. Then if you want to be an active father in your child's life, and you got visitations.
Hmm.
So when they come with you on the weekends, they still got to have their hair cut. They still
Right,
got to
right.
eat. They still so
You can't say
you
I paid $800 already for the month, so you just gonna be with me, and I'm not gonna give you nothing.
you can't do
You
it.
can't do that. Let me
So
tell
I
you.
was like, I was hearing what the man was saying, but it was just so insensitive and so. I mean,
And I went through that, but I didn't go through that. We didn't put our business in the courts. Me and my ex-wife, we agreed upon an amount that I would pay, give her each month. And I didn't pay child support. I assisted with their household expenses.
right?
That's what I did. Um, but there's always emotions involved.
Yeah.
Always emotions involved. So of course we had some hills and valleys
Well,
to
because see, a lot of times I think what guys think is, and in some cases it's still true, because women women can't tend to have sex without emotional
right,
attachment,
right,
and
right.
men can.
Yeah.
And so, now in your situation is different because you were married, but
Hmm.
these guys that have gotten caught up with a jump off, they don't
Hmm.
want to give that money up
No, no,
because
because there was never any attachment, emotional attachment.
to that woman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, this was a
Yeah.
situation.
I got lucky. I got lucky. I mean, her mom was crazy at times, but she's a good mother, and she made more money than I did, which helped.
I know that's right.
But
But see, the
when
thing also, see what I think a lot of guys get upset about is that, and what a lot of women won't admit, that, that they still have
right,
feelings, and, and they somewhat use that situation as a ploy and a way. Okay, well, any reason to
well,
communicate.
and in my situation, we were better. We were friends before marriage. Got married. She probably never should have gotten married, but after we got married, we were still taking trips together as a family. We were still having fun,
Oh, like
fun,
so you was
fun.
like Jamal and
Yes,
Giselle.
like Jamal, and yeah. So we were still that way. And in my mind, I'm divorced. I can still do whatever I want to do. But in a female's mind, it's still, I believe there's still an emotional connection where
And
I'm just totally
some kind of way, eventually he's gonna come back.
event
Because see, now that
right,
happened with
right.
this friend of mine. Had this bad condo downtown Atlanta, and name was Tracy or whatever, and had a sharp condo. So, and had, multiple,
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the girl that he really, really, really liked and was in love with, um, lived somewhere else or something. I think in North Carolina, DC, or something like that. But anyway, so the condo sold faster than he closed on his house that he was getting.
Okay.
So anyway, he had this girl that, he kind of, you know, would deal with. And he moved in with her. And so they was both stacking money or whatever. So then when he closed on the house, he never had his house to himself.
Mm.
Because when he closed on his house, then she went to whining, and he just said, "Oh, well, you come on over, since we had already been living together, you
Mistake.
come on over to my
Mistake.
house."
Yeah.
And so he went over. I kept telling him, I said, "Tracy,
Mm-mm.
that chick is saying that y'all just friends." I said, "But she's eventually feeling like if she hangs in there,
Right.
you're eventually
Right.
going to come around.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
eventually going to, oh, no, we just kicking it and we just
No
this
such
and that."
thing.
When he find the girl that was out of town, when she was getting ready to, I think, finish whatever grad school or whatever, she was coming back to Atlanta.
Mm.
And she told him straight up, she said, "Hey, I'm not going to be with you and you got a female roommate or whatever."
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so he went home. Do you know that girl, brother, and two of his friends jumped him in his own house?
Wow.
He got his behind with she plotted and eventually moved out because he was like, he served her, and you
Yeah,
got
because you gotta
drugs.
serve. You can't just say get out of my house. If they receiving mail there, that's a mistake.
There you go.
It's over.
And so she just, and it was like, dude, it was the biggest thing. And the whole time he called me, he was like, "Will," he said, "you were so right."
Mm.
Her whole motive was that he would eventually come
Yeah.
around, that he
Yeah.
would eventually.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's just certain lines that you can't. And so I think that that's what a lot of guys, they feel, or that's how. Now it may not always be the case,
Mm.
but that's how they feel, and that's how they interpret it. And
Because if
it's
you leave it to us, we will have multiple wives, or we'll just have friends with benefits forever. Long
well. See,
enough
I
you
don't, but I don't know
or multiple partners, I would say.
exactly, because I don't know how conducive Black men are to monogamy.
You know,
it's
that's you open it up a
it's
back
a
up.
Western.
Mm.
It is a Western philosophy and concept, and I I don't know if it works
I don't know
for
if
our makeup.
I don't know if the Lord has given me the ministry of monogamy. I don't think that was one of my
Variety is
gifts.
the spice.
Huh?
Variety is the
The
spice of
spice
life.
of life, you
I
know.
don't want to eat the same
Yeah,
food every day.
I don't do it. I don't do it.
No, I want fried chicken one day. I want a hamburger. I want a steak.
Yeah.
I may feel like some pasta. I
Yeah.
mean, and you know, I just, and I think the whole idea that you're supposed to, now what I do think is that you can have the security, because I really, even folks that's married, when you taking that business trip.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me just can I back up a little bit on that? I know at least 4 pastors that I know personally. When they go on the road, it's another situation, William. It's
I
another
know it
situation.
all. I know it all too well. I know it
That's what I'm
all
saying.
too
So
well. I know
monogamy,
I
we are.
and me, courtesy driving, and I can tell you, I know two bishops right now that every national meeting have two, if not three rooms.
Mm, my God, today that they just bounce from one room to the next.
I know one, and he is bi,
Mm,
and he has his room that if his wife comes, him and his wife has, and then he'll have one of the lower tier hotels that's still one of the official hotels,
right.
and one will be where the adjutant boy is, and then the other will be for where the other chick is.
So his adjutant, his spiritual son.
And if not, but because it was getting too much that, sometimes the adjutant can be at the same hotel, depending
Hmm.
upon depending upon the me. And see, I know because I'm the ride.
You know, you
I'm
dropping
the
everybody off.
I'm the transportation. And so I mean, so yeah, you have that, and and I've even driven in the Baptist Congress, and
Yeah,
so
all the same, all the same.
it's one and the same. And then don't be popular because it's just like a rapper, it's just like a rock star, it's just like, that popular one. I mean, you have different, and then they just have different lifestyles. Their
Yeah.
lifestyle is different because they traveling.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, you know, just like um it was it's one popular preacher that, and I think people are starting to do, and social media allows people to make some mistakes,
Hmm.
because this one popular preacher uh, has announced that he's a season ticket holder to the Lakers,
Okay.
but you based and live in Florida. So,
We know
that's
what
the
that's
same
about.
money that is allowing you an airline ticket, a hotel, and then you have, and see, Lakers season tickets ain't cheap.
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you got one of your homeboys that you got, because see, this certain things is just not fun by yourself.
No, and if anybody says they going by themselves, they're a damn lie. You ain't going by yourself nowhere.
No.
Every
And
now and
first
then
of
I do, but
all,
I
you
generally
black
don't go nowhere by myself.
no. And so I'm just, I was just calculating, and I was like, oh, okay. So you was there last game, and you
Uh-huh.
there this game. So okay. Let's just be fair. Let's just be fair. If you going from Florida to LA and you going for a game, that's at least $1,000.
Right there. Right there.
Your airline ticket and your hotel and your
They
Uber and you
staying
got
at Motel
that's at
6.
least $1,000, $1,500
Right.
each trip.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying you didn't posted that you have done this twice in 1 week. That's $3,000 to $5,000. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just ooh yeah.
And the moral of the story, the moral of the story is
Monogamy
monogamy is a
may
joke.
not be conducive for black men,
Yeah.
gay, straight,
Right.
bi,
Right.
tri, or whatever. But see, I'm trying to figure out, like, I think, and I've never been in a relationship. I've
Never.
never been in like a serious relationship.
Never.
Never. I've never had, I've never had a serious relation. Well, okay, I've been engaged,
You
but
were engaged to who?
I cannot tell her name. We're still good friends too.
Oh,
But
interesting.
it
Y'all
was
need to do a cash app just for that information right there.
listen, let me tell you, and we have even talked about it. We have even, like, I want to say 2 weeks ago or around my birthday time,
Mm-hmm.
she called and she was like, I don't know why you just won't get yourself together. And I said, oh, I
What?
almost said her name. And I said, what you mean? She was like, I don't know why. She said, you need to go on and get yourself together. We could have been married.
Mm.
We could have did this. We could have done that. Your whole situation would be your pops would do this and do that. My pops would do this and do that. Because her dad is the pastor of a large Baptist church.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, and I'm serious. Like while we was on the phone, I'm kind of like thinking like, again, it goes back into that scenario of, do you really love me? I was kind of thinking about that whole thing. Like, could I do it? You know what I mean? Could I? Because like I was at home
You
for a week, and that whole level of misery. You know what I'm saying? Like
see,
you.
that's why I text you a few times. I was like, he's too quiet.
Well, first of all, it was not, it just was not. Now, I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people, may not. Some stuff it doesn't need to be for public consumption.
I got you.
And I think, I don't know, I don't think I will ever do my lives anymore from my personal home and
Mm-hmm.
my personal space, because then you have all of these. Now some do it,
Yeah.
like Larry and different ones, and maybe he has reached a level where it
He'll do it
doesn't
in his
matter.
bedroom.
Yeah, it may not matter, but in my place of where I'm still climbing, I think it might have been a little too
Mm-hmm.
much. And so, and then at home, I mean, it's never as big as the house is, it's still totally never. I was looking at Kiki.
Uh-huh.
She did a encouraging video, and it was fun and it was nice, but it was so funny to see Bishop Shear walk
Yeah.
across
Yeah.
in the background. I don't know if you
I
saw that. I was like,
saw that.
and
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
don't know if he realized that she was
He
doing a
probably
live because he
didn't
was.
even realize it.
I don't think he did because he was walking in the background and did something, and then he walked back, and then he looked. It was like he looked up, and then I said, "I think she just now realized that she was, doing a lot." And it was so funny, and that would have been the same
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
scenario and
Yeah.
situation, for me, and so. Um, I was just like, no, and yeah, because I was like, at some point, yeah, I'm tired of the continuing questioning, and then you got to go to service,
Yeah.
and then everybody, they have that, and then you preach this, and
Yeah.
it's old school, and then here your only son shows up,
Yeah.
and is a total contradiction. I mean,
And
it's
then I think
just
they feel
it's
they
enough to drive you to have
and he
a
probably
nervous
feels
breakdown.
that they have to put a little extra on it just so the members know that I'm not with this or I'm not, and don't put no
Well,
extra on
see,
it while
and
you're there.
that I'm gonna tell you that is part of it, and then the other part I can't stand, and I won't tolerate that whole spiritual son stuff.
Mm. So what you mean?
So if I'm home, you're not going to refer to him as
Oh.
Pop and Dad and all of that.
But you're not there, William. They there.
They there, and so when I get on the plane and whatever y'all do, that's what y'all do. But you're not gonna do that up in my. You see, I'm not. It's 2023. I'm not gonna tolerate no kind of level of disrespect.
No more disrespect in 2023. No
No,
more.
I'm not backing down. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to
Mm.
tolerate you ignoring or disrespecting me in my face. Now,
Yeah.
what you say behind my back and in, private and behind closed doors or whatever, what have you, that's a totally different scenario. But in my face,
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And I think that, excuse me, and I think that that's a class, or that is um, that's something that needs to be taught and understood by the spiritual leader and by other, ministers and what have you, that it's some level of class and tact
Mm-hmm.
that you should just have, you know, and
Yeah.
that you shouldn't. It's just like how you had the beautiful birthday celebration for your mom, and y'all
Yeah.
went out and what have you. Just the same way, you as a son is not going to tolerate and allow some level of disrespect to
Right.
your
Right.
mom. That's the same way that fathers should say, I know you may revere me in this kind of way. I know you may have this level of respect
Yeah.
or for me, but
You,
these
and
are
and
my
and on that,
biological children.
see, I take it so far. I won't even allow. That's how we fell out. I won't allow my own sister and her husband to disrespect my mother.
No,
It doesn't work like that. You will
no,
never do that. You
no.
did it for long enough, and it doesn't work anymore. So if we
My
fall out, we fall out.
I had a run in with my brother-in-law, and uh, now my sister has been married twice, and she has children from both
Yeah.
unions. So anyway, long story short, Mama was running somewhere or running an errand and passed my niece's school. This is some years back.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, it was about 4 or 5 kids, mother said, were, you know, the teacher or one of the after school people were, they were all in the like parking lot playground area of the school waiting for those last few children to be picked up. So mother went and picked up my niece, and she saw her, and she said, I think mama said she was going to Safeway or something. And then she passed by, blew the horn, and then went to Safeway, and then got whatever she wanted or whatever, and was getting ready to pass by again. And she still had not been picked up. So my mother pulled on in and got her. So took her back to the boutique. They doing whatever. So maybe an hour and a half goes by. Now, my brother-in-law goes to pick her up, and she's gone. Everybody from the school is cleared out. There's nobody there. So he's running around for about an hour and a half, totally panicked, of what has happened to his wife's daughter. Man, when it finally got deduced, or when he finally got courage enough to, tell my sister, and then my sister called, and mother was like, "Oh, girl, she here with me," And when he went to pick her up, now he wasn't cursing at mother, but he was using curse language while he was talking. And so that was it. Now, he eventually took her to lunch and bought her flowers and begged her forgiveness. I told mother, I said, now what you have, and I had to get on both of them, I said, you have me hating this Negro.
Right.
And now you have chosen to forgive him, and I'm not.
Yeah, right.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
See, what I told him was, I said, if I pick up the phone and call your mama and use the language and the way that I was told that you talked to her, I said it would be World War III.
Let me tell you, my sister's husband is dead to me. I'll take that to the grave.
I am with you on it 100%.
Dead.
I don't.
When they tell me he died.
Even pretend. I don't even pretend.
I don't either. I don't pretend either.
I don't pretend. And so all of those dynamics is, like when you would say you was checking on, see, like all of those dynamics after about a week, you can't take it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Get
it's when
me on that plane.
To imagine being in that kind of a situation on a daily, indefinite, level, or no,
and again, you have to ask, do you love me?
Do you?
Do you really love me?
Do you? I mean, that's where I was, because it was like, it dawned on me. It was like an awakening moment, because I was like, you got all these conditions. You got all of these, if you do this, if you do that, and blah, 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 or what have you. And I was like, do you really love me? And then they look, and and I know I struck a chord, because just like I'm still thinking about that, trust me. And I said, well, your actions, you know,
Yeah.
I can only tell you how it makes me feel, how I interpret it, how it, you know, no, your love is with these contingencies and these conditions. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
unconditional. And
Yeah.
that's where so many people are. And that's why so many people are messed up. And that's like how you said, that touches on Aaron Hernandez, that
Yeah.
touches on the
Yeah.
dysfunction of and so many people are not able to be themselves because they're living and trying to meet the expectation
Yeah.
of somebody else. Their
Because
pastor, their
yeah.
mama, their
Yeah.
daddy, their whomever, and you are trying, don't do it no more.
They
To hell
would
with that.
rather you live miserable so they can live comfortable.
Comfortable.
That's
So I
yeah.
have to become uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
so that you, and based upon your stereotypical ideals, so that you're
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
No, not doing it.
No. And you know, when I left that church that I was just at, I made up in my mind, I'm not going to allow anyone to dictate who I am, and
Heck no.
I'm just not going to. I'm not going to let that happen. No one
And
can
I think that
call
that's
the
why a lot of
pastor.
people, that I
Mm-mm.
think that that's why a lot of folks, you know, it's probably easier.
Yeah.
See, it's easier for me to do and be me almost 3,000 miles away.
Right. Right. And that's a
Because see,
shame,
the
but
thing about it is when you go back there, you know, everybody knows.
right. Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's no escape. And then, you know, if you're in a community, see, the Bay is different. You know,
Yeah.
the Bay, the Bay is, know, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you restaurant, mall, somewhere, you gonna run up on
No,
somebody
you are. Yeah. I live here, and when I go to the Bay, I usually see somebody I know all the time.
without, and then don't halfway be a popular
Right.
person.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know they see you.
Greetings, Rita. Rita from Illinois. Greetings.
Illinois
Thank you
in the
for coming on.
house.
So
Where's
yeah,
everybody else from?
you can't, it's a smaller demographic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't escape it, I mean, even it's even, well, for me, I can't go nowhere, but even like if you go to LA or places where he has been popular and known to have preached and stuff, it's
Yeah.
just not it's no escaping it. And so then you have both of them. So I got, oh, that's Rev's son, and then the popularity um, of the blog.
We got Chicago in the house, Lindetta, and we got. Hey, what's up, Adrian?
Hey,
She's
Adrian,
your
that's
usher.
nice.
She's
That's
your
nice.
trustee. Adrian, that's the trustee.
Yes, I love her. I love her. I love her. I love those people that love and have my back no matter what. But y'all, we getting ready to get off here. We've been on.
Yeah,
I don't know what is with me and these 3 hour. Well, it's been two
that's
and a half
long.
hour.
That's long
These
enough.
2.5 hour and 3 hours lives. Look, y'all, we can't go all night. We
North
just can't do it.
Carolina. Oh yeah, lady elect.
North Carolina, North Kakalaki. Now,
Mm.
real quick on North Carolina, what's his name? Antonio. Johnson just got arrested today. I believe it was either today or yesterday at the Atlanta airport.
Is it
Come to
Antonio or
find
you put down Demario? No, not Demario.
Demario, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Antonio, Demario. So Demario is supposed to be an apostle, and he was originally from North Carolina, and uh, he had a house and had members living with him or whatever. And one of his members, I think, was like 14.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Yes.
And
His spiritual
so,
daughter.
exactly. And he was screwing her real good. But the thing that was so interesting is that we thought he liked boys. So he had come to Atlanta, and he was visiting, or while he was trying to get his little situation off the ground, was coming over and he was visiting my friend Kevin Nick's church. And so Kevin Nick had a member that had a bad body, but she was really crazy. I think it was something wrong with her mind, because she told me that her pussy was anointed to make gay men
All
straight.
right. That's some good pussy right there. That's good
And
pussy
so
right
look, I looked at
there.
her. I was in shock that she was saying it with a straight
With
face.
authority.
And and a lot of the gay boys was screwing. One gay boy from Kimberly Blanche's church screwed her several times trying to become straight. And so I
Church
said,
folks
Kevin and
fall for
I,
anything.
and so he said, what's her name? I won't say her name. And he was like, she crazy as hell. I said, well, Kevin, I guess so. I guess to me is crazy. And so Demario wound up having sex with her, and as a result of having sex, she already had two boys that Kevin had custody of. And then she wound up having another child by Demario Johnson. And then, so he went back to North Carolina, to my understanding.
Wop,
And
wop. She had that wop.
wow, yeah. And so then he came back when when the girl's mother went to the authorities. He came back to Atlanta kind of running. And I think he has been trying to lay low, and now they finally got him. So it's
14-year-old.
two North Carolina bishops. That other guy that was in jail on that $10 million bond, they went on, and I think they reduced it down to $1 million, and now he has been apprehended, and last I checked, he was waiting to be extradited.
Okay, so he didn't even get out. He didn't bail out.
No, he's got to go back to North Carolina to meet those charges, and then once he's there, then he can post bond, if he has any money to be able to come up with it.
He ain't got that much. He ain't got that money. No. He'll be there.
I don't understand why they having sex with these children.
Well, it's about power. It's about the accessibility, manipulation. It's not really about the gender.
Let me tell you something. It ain't that much power in the world, and it ain't that much.
I was having this conversation today with my mom. She was talking about, because I told her, she watched it's called Unveil, and it's on HBO Max. It's about the Mexican church.
Oh, okay.
Screwing everybody. Then she watched the Hillsong documentary,
Right.
screwing everybody. Then she watched the R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly, the newest one, screwing everybody. She was just saying how we were having a discussion how we were so glad that we got out of the situation that we were in growing up,
Right.
because we could be as lost as those people in those documentaries who went all the way and just
And you know and I'll be very frank with you. We have gotten to a place, especially in this whole Black Pentecostal situation, where we reverence our leaders to
mm-hmm,
the point that
mm-hmm.
we breed these type of
We
behaviors,
do. We do.
because we give them, we reverence them to the point where we give them the opportunity
Yeah.
to take it too far. Most of them take it too far or a lot of them take it too far in other ways.
Yeah.
But all bishop,
Yeah.
and pastor and all that.
Apostle.
Yeah, it's
Prophet.
just,
Did you did you hear Brian Carn's newest prophecies? That
no. What did he say?
he had a whole he said there's gonna be a lot of fires, which we have fires every year in California. He said there's going to be Biden is going to get struck with a certain disease. Biden is 103 years old. He going to get a disease. And then what else he say? He had a whole bunch of
Did
pie
he mention anything about his lawsuit? Him and because
Senegal,
he tried to get it dismissed, and the
Senegal.
judge denied the motion to dismiss the lawsuit that Senegal filed against him.
I was wondering what was going on with that.
Well, he sent out a motion, his attorney. So now that the judge denied it, so now they got to get ready to go into discovery.
He needs to pay that man that money. He screwed his wife. North Carolina don't play, or whatever state he was in, they don't play with that. So pay the man his money.
And then I mean the whole thing is just it's so embarrassing. And then I heard that he's got a church full of women, and like all of them are just sitting there, waiting for an
Their
opportunity.
turn. Their turn. Yeah.
And I just don't even know what you could see or remotely be interested in.
These some women, they like the power that men have. It's just like
And that charisma.
And the charisma. It's like that woman who was stalking, those women who were stalking Marvin Sapp. For what?
and that girl mysteriously wound up dead, and
In
they
a
found
ditch.
her body over there in Lake Michigan.
Right.
And he was the person of interest. He don't like me to this day. I told him, I said, you were a person of interest in that woman's death.
You don't mess with the story.
How could I not report on that?
We're just supposed to be quiet. You had a stalker.
It was no way, as I said, a person that's just halfway, a half-ass journalist, would have to mention that you were a person of interest in a woman's death, her and her car.
Yeah.
Went over in Lake Michigan, and at the time she was claiming that she was pregnant.
Was she claiming that?
That's what she was claiming.
That's
what she was claiming. And it was just, I don't know, it was just God.
But they were trying to make it seem, oh, she's just a crazy lady. She's crazy.
She was crazy. She was crazy, all right. She was crazy over him.
Yeah.
And see, and that's what you got to be careful about, because you manipulate some chicks, and then you find out that they wind up are crazy.
Yeah, they really are.
You have bitten off more than what you can chew.
Yeah. I've been there.
and then it's winds up being a problem.
Yeah.
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 So, and but see that I don't know, because that girl was in medical school. I mean, it was a lot to that.
It just didn't seem like the typical stalker.
No, she seemed like she was legitimately in a relationship, or
Yeah.
that he made her feel and think that she was in a relationship. And that's what these guys got to stop doing. You
Yeah.
got to stop manipulating and playing with folks' minds and emotions to just get what you want out of it.
Yeah.
You wind up having unwanted
Yeah.
children. You
Mm-hmm.
wind up, having a lot of, serious issues
Yeah.
as a result. And it's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But well, the thought was, what do they see in these guys? It's, yeah, like you said, it's the
It's
charisma, it's the
the
power.
charisma. It's that it's just like it's just like Rick Ross, who and if he was not Rick Ross, he would have some basic chick,
Yeah.
Fat Joe,
Yeah.
Big Pun. Who was gonna screw and lay with Big Pun before he died in
Mm,
their
mm,
right
mm.
mind? You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So I mean, it's just just like what guy won't Lizzo?
She got a man.
If she wasn't who she was.
And and if you listen to the story, she was on Howard Stern's and he did a great interview with her. And Howard Stern's was convinced that the nigga was just with you for who you were.
That's right. And see, Howard Stern is like me. He ain't gonna lie and back down or
He's
sugarcoat.
not. He's not.
Uh-uh.
And
And
he
I'm gonna
had
tell
the
you
tough
something. If she
questions.
wasn't Lizzo, he
Yeah.
would not be with her.
Because they were friends and all of a sudden they became. It's like, no,
I'm gonna
and
tell you
he's
somebody else that wouldn't have had nobody. Precious.
yeah, oh Gab, is her name Gabrielle?
It
or
don't
something like
matter whatever
that.
her name is, Scooter Bay, Sada Bay, whatever the
Just
hay,
precious.
or whatever. It don't even matter. Uh-uh. And first of all, if it wasn't for, just like now, we ain't the only movies that we ever will see her in is something that Lee Daniels is doing because he liked her.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I haven't seen her in much.
You ain't seen her in nothing else since Empire, and Lee Empire was Lee
Right.
Daniels. And
Right. Right.
you're not gonna see that jigaboo in nothing. Her whole arm is the size of my thigh.
But you have to think it's like really, and I'm not, I'm not the slimmest thing in the thing, but it's like,
But see,
are
you
they
got
really wanting
men.
her?
It's different. We can go into these stereotypes and what have you. It is society is different
It
on men
is. It
than
is.
women.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Women are a man's prize.
Yeah.
The man's woman and his kids show his level of money,
Yeah.
his level of success, and what he has obtained. His
When my
wife
money.
or his girlfriend is his trophy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Period.com.
That's true.
You ain't got to
That is
like
true.
it, it's yet the truth.
Well, everybody, thank you.
Thank you as he sips. I appreciate you.
I
Till
got some
next time,
good stuff
Reverend.
today. I got my jam jar. Later, everybody. Send your cash apps in to
Your
William.
sales.